So I went out of the Philippines for a week to take care of a couple of business back home in the States, but I am back here and today is not too bad, but for the past few days there's been like a heavy smog happening around Metro Manila. And over here you can see a little bit of evidence, but today is a little bit clear. I think the past days it was actually more brutal, that even the buildings at close range, you couldn't see it clear. But I think it's because apparently a landfill in Navotas had like a fire, so that's what's causing the smoke to be over here in this area. And this is a common thing if you come to live in mega cities in Southeast Asia that a lot of people don't mention about. Not only here, if you live in Jakarta, Bangkok, even other parts, you're gonna get smog and the air quality is not gonna be good. And then to make it worse, it's summer season in the Philippines, so the heat is gonna be brutal. And I had a lot of cases of people that they say they have like health issues, breathing in the air. So, I love Manila, I love the Philippines, but sometimes, they got these little things going on. I have a friend who's from Puerto Rico, he lives in Manila too. I think he lives in Pasig, and he was making a TikTok video of how his health has been, not too good because of the air quality. I'm being blessed and none of that has happened, because I'm doing some little tricks to take care. A lot of things that is very good for people to do is wear face mask. One thing I do, I take vitamins, like 1,000 milligrams, so that way I don't get sick, because believe it or not, over here in the Philippines, I rarely get sick. I get more sick in the States than over here, so, because I feel like over here the food is just better than back home in the States. It's more natural. But yeah, I'm just showing you a little bit of what the Metro Manila skyline looks like. I'm in Taguig, but this over here is Makati, the Rockwell. And if you go over here is Mandaluyong. So you can see the buildings are not too clear. The sky looks gray, like if it's gonna rain, but it's actually, the air quality. But we're gonna hang out around here, then I'm gonna hit the streets a little bit to show you around. I don't know if it's gonna be a long video, I'm just gonna film quickly because it's still early and before the heat starts kicking in, because in the summer it gets brutal. But if I see a 7-Eleven, I'll probably stop by and get some water. Meanwhile, I do enjoy the view over here, it's beautiful. This is the borderline of Taguig and Makati. This is the Sambo, which I already filmed this area like over a week ago. You see over there in the ceiling, it says City of Taguig with the skyline of Makati in the background. And then over here is kind of like Mandaluyong, between Mandaluyong and Pasig. But this is Mandaluyong near Boni. The MRT, it passes over there and EDSA over that way. And then Ortigas is all the way in the back. Now I'm gonna show you the other angle, Mitsukoshi, to see what it looks like. Like I said, at close range, the buildings are not looking too bad. Well, over here, these new buildings are being built up. On top of Mitsukoshi, I cannot really see it clearly. So, a little bit of the air, but hey, no place is perfect, every place has its own thing going on. But I don't mind this. I think I already adjust to the lifestyle here in the Philippines. And I love it out here. I couldn't be happy to be here permanent and travel around the islands and go to neighboring countries in Southeast Asia. Here, these other new condos are being built up, and I don't know if my camera is capturing it, but you don't really see it clearly. And that's the Grand Hyatt right there. Over there, that's Pasig and Capitol Commons. To see the buildings, you cannot really see it clearly. It's a lot of heavy smog. I think this is probably not a big deal for you guys, because here, whoa, what's that? You guys are used to it, but I grew up in Puerto Rico, and I remember seeing videos and pictures of cities in Asia, here, China, and all that. And I don't know, I just felt like it was kind of cool to see the buildings like blurry because of the smog and stuff like that. The most we get back in the States or home is the fog, but this is different, like smog and fog. But I just love, looking at things like that. Now I'm just gonna walk around the street to see what's going on. Probably head towards Guadalupe and then come back. Yo, it's only 10 o'clock and I'm already feeling like the sweat dripping a little bit in my back. That's one thing. The heat here, it's pretty humid. And this is not nothing. Today's not even that bad. It's like, right now it feels like 95, which I know for some guys is probably hot, but trust me, in April usually gets, with the heat index over 110, more than that. Out of here you can see the buildings, what I'm talking about. It's not clear. But I'm gonna head out towards the uptown and probably shortcut, head towards Sambo and walk to Guadalupe, because I think over there I can capture a little bit better, like the street views, and to see if we can capture a couple of smogs from around there. I'm outside, and I want to see, today is Monday, I think, so yeah, it is Monday. So I want to see the vibes by the Butas shortcut, walk Sambo to Guadalupe, because the other time that I filmed it, it was actually like a holiday. But I want to show you that life goes on no matter the situation or the weather. Like there's always something happening over here. But yeah, I think I'm feeling a little bit the consequences of the air quality. Like I feel like the throat gets a little bit like dry or scratchy, you know, so I was gonna film this video really quick and then head back to the condo. But you know, I'm always an outdoor guy, no matter the weather or the situation. I just get bored being indoors, so I like going out where the action is. This is beautiful uptown. See, I cannot even see the buildings, like pretty clear through the end. And this over here will take you to the shortcut, which I already filmed a video here. I posted a video on my Instagram and TikTok, and it's getting like a lot of views about the shortcut with a lot of people that work here. They go and they grab a bite or food over there. They're not too busy, but I think if you come like in an hour, 11 o'clock, probably 12, you're gonna see this really packed at it's lunchtime. Here, if you come, one trick is if you go to restaurants in the Philippines, don't come in the lunchtime or dinner time because they be packed. It's a big culture in terms of food out here. You see all the street foods going on, people out here, the guards, the workers. This is literally like a hidden gem right here. But it's not too busy like I thought it was gonna be, but maybe also because of the heat. If you come like in the afternoon or the evening, then you'll see a lot of people out here. Like I said, this is the little hidden gem right next to Bonifacio Global City. So it's still part of Taguig, but a little bit more forward is gonna start being Makati. But like I said, you just gotta be careful with the heat, so always stay hydrated. I took a lot of water before I head out, but I got a couple of coins. Just in case if I gotta hit 7-Eleven, I'll grab myself a water or something like that. If I want to make it towards the other side, towards Jacinto, that would take me towards Kalayaan and then back to Guadalupe. Look at the barangay, I just can't get enough of Sambo. I don't know why, I just love this area. Like it has its own unique beauty, you know, the trees, everything. And then you see the high-rise buildings of Bonifacio Global City. Like I said, a lot of people, they should explore these areas like this. But don't do like I do, don't explore when it's cooking in the heat. Good thing I'm wearing a white t-shirt, but you still feel it. Like I said, it's gonna get actually hotter like in an hour or 2 hours. But I'm trying to do my best to show you what's happening around here. Also keep in mind, I just came back a few days ago from New York City, so I'm feeling good now, but you know, you get a brutal jet lag. Even though this time it didn't affect me pretty bad, but I've been struggling a little bit with the sleeping habits. Like I try to sleep at night, wake up early in the morning, in the middle of the night, and then I can't fall back asleep, so adjusting to it. So that's why I think I'm filming now in the morning. That way, at least, if anything happens, if I'm tired, I can just go back home and rest. You can get the tricycles, they pass next to me, and this one. I used to take those tricycles when I was living in Cubao. But here, I haven't taken one since I moved to BGC. I haven't taken a tricycle, but they're actually pretty fun and affordable to get around the area. So that's why I say depending where you live in the Philippines, but most of the areas, even small towns, you know, you really don't need like a car. Yep, shout out, we get it to you guys. Shout out, yep. Take care, man. See, fun people, I love it out here. See how funny? This is why you gotta come to the barangays and say hi to the people. They're just very friendly to you. Now I'm just gonna shortcut towards Jacinto and Kalayaan, hello, Ate, and then see what's going on. Yo! Stay cool, shout out to who? Yo! Got it, but let me go down the other way. Yo, what was I saying? I got distracted with the kuyas out there, but it's a vibe over here no matter what in the Philippines. I tell you, I've been to many countries, are amazing, but it's just the vibe in the Philippines that literally just hits different out here. Like the culture, the people, the ambience, you know, you can't really beat the hospitality that this country has to offer right here. So a little bit more busier than the other days that I film out here, because like I say, it's a weekday. Oh, what's she selling here? Juice or milk? You'll find fresh foods, street vendors all over. You got a little sari-sari store. Hello. So like I say, it's convenient no matter where you go. Like another trick for this heat, bring up this so you can swipe, you can wipe yourself off the sweat, and then you just keep going. But yeah, like I say, life goes on here. You see how people just go on about their life. Always vibrant here. Shit, even in busy city in the United States on a weekday, you don't see it like vibrant or active like any of the cities over here in the Philippines. We keep going. This is kind of like the main street of Sembo. And then it goes down the hill, then you're in the other part by Kalayaan. I think over here is kind of like the borderline of Makati. But it used to be like a disputed territory in the past between Taguig and Makati. So it's a little bit in both. And here, whoa, they got a coffee shop right here. Café Arabella. Potato corner, which you got them all over. And you can merge into some of the esquinitas. People in the motorbikes. Yo, I need to learn how to drive a motorcycle because if I want to go like to the little islands in the province, that's probably the best and cheapest way to get around. But then a little cons when you're riding a motorcycle in the summer, the heat is going to kick for your skin. That's another thing that I wanted to point out. If you come out here to the Philippines, you see a lot of people wearing their hoodies in the sun because I think it protects them from the sun, but I couldn't handle that. I'd rather just cook myself. I'm already dark skinned, so I'd rather just cook myself than being sweating hot, especially in a brutal heat like this when it gets like 40 Celsius. It's like a tricycle stand. Like they go here, but you go to the first one, and I think they're literally the 24 hours. Like if you need to go to another side of the barangay, you catch the tricycles over here. That was in every barangay. They have like a tricycle stand. And then ahead of me is busy Kalayaan. Oh, look at this, selling meats. Ahead of me is busy Kalayaan, and then Guadalupe is in the other side, which is also another cool neighborhood. That's part of Makati. The one over here is Guadalupe Nuevo. Then here's the Sari store and 2 cats, which are literally sacred animals out here in the Philippines. See them? And then here we got Guadalupe, with the borderline. Gonna cross where the light is. But ahead of me, I see some of the buildings of Pasig, and between Capitolio and Capitol Commons. And like I say, you see the buildings, but you don't see it clearly. You see it like a little blurry because, you know, the air quality. But I really don't see much people wearing face masks. I thought I was gonna see more of that, but like I say, people just going on about their daily lives. Gotta cross here, but the light literally is gonna change. But I think it's actually safer if I cross in the other side, if I want a shortcut towards this other street right here. You see all the motorcycle ahead of me. 7-Eleven and then traffic, even though the traffic is not too intense today, but you see it happening. In the sky, you see how gray it is? It's not blue because of the air quality that's happening right here. And all the action, I'm not sure if you can see Mandaluyong over there. But it's right there, I'm just waiting for the light so that way I can cross the street. And I'm back again in Guadalupe, which I filmed here in Good Friday. And Good Friday, you know, it's a pretty sacred holiday out here in the Philippines. And in Metro Manila, you'll see the streets pretty empty. Those were the last 2 videos I filmed in the Philippines before I head back to the States for a week. I did it back-to-back. One showing like the whole part of Metro Manila. Then I show a specific video for BBC during Good Friday. But today's gonna be a different vibe because it's not holiday. So I'm sure when I walk near the EDSA highway in Guadalupe, it's gonna be actually pretty busy. But Guadalupe is literally like a beautiful neighborhood because it got some nice houses, nice streets. Despite, I think the only thing that ruined it is the cable wires, but it's a pretty nice community happening in Makati, and it's served by the MRT train station. It's a couple of multiple expansions. Now that I'm speaking of the MRT, a couple of expansions happening. They're building the MRT 7, which will connect you to, I think, San Jose and Bulacan. And they're building the Metro Manila subway, which is expected to be open in a couple of years. So a lot of developments happening over here in Metro Manila. You see, you know, a pretty chill neighborhood. But once you make it towards the other side, it's gonna be busy with markets. And over here's kind of some of the semi-busy parts of Guadalupe. Then crazy to think that we got EDSA Highway, then on the other side is Walkwell, which is one of the wealthiest little districts out here in Metro Manila. And during the holiday seasons, I made a video already, they light up the buildings in Walkwell, and it looks pretty futuristic, like the yellow lights. As you see, it's a vibrant neighborhood happening right here. And they got markets, stores, everything you can find. Over here, they got a store. It's a tricycle here. Then I'm gonna merge towards the right, because this is the street. It's only literally like a block from the EDSA highway. And they got a couple of hotel units out here. And then here's where the market today is actually more vibrant than the last time I came out here. So yeah, look, we got carinderias, Kind of like a little semi-divisoria. But if you go to Divisoria, it's literally madness, like crazy. Haven't been there in a minute. But it would be brutal for me to go there now with the heat. Especially when you cramp up with people, the heat intensifies a little bit more. So, but I'm loving it out here. There's plenty of other neighborhoods throughout the metro part of Manila that you can see vibrant neighborhoods, you know, people and everything. I'm the only foreigner walking around here, but I love it. I think it gets much more busier when you get to the Skinita by the train station area. I discovered there's another market that goes near the river. If you get close to the river, I think that's where you get a better view of the smoggy skyline. And they sell t-shirts over here, jerseys. Jerseys, you know. It's funny because I bought a jersey in Green Hills Mall, a New York Knicks jersey, because I'm a fan of New York Knicks and living around that area for 15 years. And when I went back to New York City, people were complimenting me the jersey like if it was legit. I said, I literally just bought this for a cheaper price in the Philippines, but people are not gonna know. I'm at the point that I don't mind. I don't need to buy original clothes to impress, you know, as long as it looks good, that's okay to me. Well, here you do some cardio because you go up the hills and you go down, but it got markets all over. This is the other street out here. So not too busy today, but like I say, maybe in the afternoon when people get off of work and school and all that, that's when you're gonna see this lively out here. You can literally find everything. Everything like shoes, clothes, interior clothes, gadgets for your phone. And then you see some of the buildings of Mandaluyong and Pasig right there at the end. Here's another market right here. I don't want to go all the way down because then coming up the hill in this brutal heat, I don't think it's a good idea. So I'm just gonna turn back and make it towards EDSA Highway and see what's happening over there, and then I'm gonna walk all the way back towards Bonifacio. But then ahead of me, you see part of the Rockwell buildings. So the smog today is not too bad like it was the past few days. I think I caught it a little bit late, but I was just so tired from flying back here. Like I flew to the US, I was there only a week and a half or 10 days. And then I flew right back, so that's pretty intense to recover from a jet lag. So I didn't really have the energy to go out and make videos. So today's my first day filming out here in the Philippines. Still trying to recover little by little, but yeah, I want to show you what's happening towards the EDSA Highway. Then over there you see Rockwell and Makati, which is an upscale area. Nice area, I made a video there. They have a nice mall over that side, and there goes the MRT station, the train. It does get pretty packed, especially during the rush hour. And then here, EDSA. So the traffic is not too intense now, but this area here, when you drive for EDSA, this area always clogs up in traffic. And then when you go towards the Mega Mall area, it gets pretty intense also. I'm not sure why, maybe because there's all areas where you do connections with other forms of transportation, but like I taken the Grab, I drove by many times on this highway, and it's always like this specific spot where the traffic always pile up, and then more ahead. Like before you hit this river, the Pasig River, I can smell the fresh meat from the markets, and it smells good though. You know, other places you go, it smells rotten, but over here, it doesn't smell like that, so good thing. I'm gonna walk towards the other side of the highway to see what can I capture. The last time, like I said, it was Good Friday, and you saw how empty it is, but now it's the opposite. So I'm probably gonna go over the overpass to show you the traffic jam. And then I don't know if I'm gonna make it towards Calayan or push it over there to see the vibes, but you know, I'm just going with the flow and showing you how, you know, life goes on here no matter the term of the weather or the situation. Some of the most resilient people that I ever met are the Filipinos. Right now, since it's only like 10:30, 11, you're not gonna see a heavy traffic. Usually it piles up like around 3 o'clock, but it's flowing. Try to boil it early in the morning and try to boil it like in 5, 6 o'clock. And now you're gonna be sitting like for a long time in traffic. So not too bad now, but you can see a little bit of the vibes. Here's the overpass that I wanna go on top and show you guys. But like I said, with this area that I'm walking, it always piles up with traffic. Let me just show you the front part so you guys can have an idea of what's going on. And over here, you see, there is cars, but it's literally flowing, so nothing crazy. And then you see the buildings. Maybe if I go on top of the bridge, I capture like a better view of the smog or what's going on. Then you see the MRT passing by right here. So not too bad the traffic today. Let's check out the other side. So it seems like they're literally fixing what's gonna be the bus lane. You see it nice and smooth. And then Makati over that way. I was looking at some parts where they were doing a rehabilitation project in EDSA. I forgot what part of EDSA, but I was literally looking at the videos that they were putting like the traditional yellow lines that they put in a lot of Asian cities and putting like a bike lane, but I don't know, they should have spanned more like the sidewalk because there's so many lanes over here. But yeah, I forgot where it is, but maybe I'll find out and go there and check it out for myself. But not gonna lie, this is reminding me a little bit of a holiday because it's not too busy. But like I say, I'm recording this early in the morning before the heat starts picking up and it'd be pretty intense for me to walk around. So keep going over here. There was something else that I forgot to mention. So I literally passed a gas station and the diesel prices was 123 pesos. And the Philippines is being one, or I think the most country in Southeast Asia that has been affected with the gas prices. So I don't know if that has something to do also with the traffic being less. But I really feel bad for the people who drive out here and the Grab drivers. So if you're a foreigner and you take a Grab driver, try to tip them a little bit more so it can help them out, you know. They're really struggling right now, especially with the gas prices. And over there you see Makati skyline in the background, but it's not clear, you know, because of the air quality. And here passes MRT, which is pretty fast and cheap, and it takes most of EDSA highway. And now I'm entering Guadalupe. This street will take me straight towards Kalayaan, but I think it's gonna go up the hill, so I'm gonna do a little bit of cardio. Good thing I got this watch that measures my steps. They even got shuttle buses out here. This is cool. And a church. And then you see Bonifacio Global City in the back out there. But like I said, I'm gonna walk straight and that would take me back towards where I came. I'm still debating should I go Kalayaan and go towards 8th Avenue. But I'll see how I feel after going up this hill right here. I like this building over here. Nice and cool. I've never been in this part. But like I tell you, every street that you walk out here is an adventure. And then to my right, they got Alpha Mart, which is like a 7-Eleven version, but Indonesia. It's an Indonesia brand and it's pretty popular out here. You know, it's pretty popular all over in Metro Manila, like right here, Alpha Mart. So like I say, even if it's hot, you can go to many convenience stores and get refreshments for a cheaper price. It says Makati Place, so this is literally like part of Makati. And I'm just gonna walk over the hill to show you what's going on. And then this is the Barangay Hall or Guadalupe Nuevo. Like I say, a lot of these barangays, they have their hall. I guess it's kind of like a semi-city hall. But I guess that's good. It makes it convenient so you don't have to go far to like the main city hall of the actual city or municipality. Here, I'm doing a workout because I'm going up the hill. And especially in this heat, good thing I invested myself in a good pair of shoes with good insoles. But let's see how I feel once I make it to the top. But I'm up for a challenge. Like I say many times, a lot of streets in Metro Manila are beautiful. A lot of streets in Metro Manila are beautiful. It's just the cable wires that kind of ruin it. But hopefully in the future they eliminate them and you're gonna see the real beauty that the city has to offer. So far I'm doing pretty good. Going up the hill, working out a good cardio. I think that's a good thing about the Philippines. It helps me stay in shape too. I'm back again in EDSA Street. The street that I was walking, this would take it towards Kalayaan. And then it connects you with the other barangay, Sembo, which is right next to Bonifacio Global City. But I think I'm gonna walk a little bit longer towards Kalayaan and enter the 8th Avenue area. It's been a minute since I walked towards that side, just to see what's going on, and then I'll wrap up the video for today. But I'm gonna try to recover more from the jet lag and keep on filming more and more videos for you guys. So now I'm just walking this stretch of Kalayaan that goes around South Sembo, and then on the other side is the other entrance towards Bonifacio Global City. So like I say, not too busy now. I just want to see the vibes over here because I already showed you pretty much like the similar routes. As you can see, you know, these people keep on going on with their lives. And like I say, always keep an eye on the weather and protect yourself from whatever's going on. But so far, I haven't seen nobody wearing a facial mask out here. You know, I guess today is not too bad like it was for the previous days. And here you see Kalayaan. And I think Kalayaan has a lot of potential. It's a beautiful street. Like they got the inlet over here. They should develop more like the bike lanes and maybe set up the streets like nicer, but I see great potential in this main avenue. So I think over this side is where the tree starts. And the area of Calayan with the trees, it goes all the way towards Highway C5, which I walk the opposite way. I walk, as one of my previous videos, I walked from Uptown all the way to Pambo, East Rainbow, and then all the way back towards Calayan. So, like I say, I see a lot of potential with this highway right here. And there's so many areas to explore, especially in Taguig. And here you see how the street keeps going. A lot of business on both sides. I feel like I could use actually more trees over here, but. So nearby me, I'm approaching the entrance, the 8th Avenue entrance that will take you to Bonifacio Global City. And if you take the overpassage, it exits out and then you're already in Pasig. It's like a little bridge that connects you the two districts. Like I said, I did this walk like over a year ago, so here I am walking it again because I wanted to see what was happening, like an update video. But I think in the afternoon is when it gets busy, you know, when the weather cools down and people get off of work, you'll see people out here chilling, barbecue, cerveza, so, you know, a lot of cool vibes out here. And that's the entrance over there. Every time I drive, I come through the other side, through C5, and they have like a traffic enforcer over there, and that's the entrance to BGC. So, gonna be honest, it hasn't been too bad today in terms of heat. It is hot, but I'm feeling good though. I haven't really sweat that much comparing to other times, so maybe it's gonna get hotter, maybe my body's adjusting to it, I don't know, but I've been having a blast walking out here and filming, so I guess that's good to know. So my next mission, not today, is gonna be explore the other barangay in the other side that borders with Guadalupe. I haven't explored that side yet, even though I passed by in car. So I'm probably gonna explore it and go into some of the regular streets to see what's going on, but now I'm entering Uptown Bonifacio. You can see the modern buildings and the contrast right here. The huge difference. I'm not gonna lie, like feeling this heat and seeing the modern buildings of Bonifacio Global City is reminding me a bit of Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Like Kuala Lumpur is very hot and then it's literally, you know, surrounded by modern skyscrapers. So it's kind of giving me kind of like that vibe a little bit. Look at the beautiful buildings over here. It seems like they're gonna build a new one over here, but I think over there in the corners where they're building the Metro Manila subway. There's gonna be 2 stops in Bonifacio Global City, which is the subway in Calayan, which is the one back there. It's gonna serve the Uptown, and then they're gonna have one next to SM Aura, which is Bonifacio Global City. And another one by Lawson, I think that's where, what's that called? McKinley Hill is. I made a video there where the Venice Grand Canal Mall is, I think. So they're gonna have like about 3 subway stations around this area here in Taguig. So I think I've seen enough for today, you know, just little by little starting to film, you know, because I'm recovering from my trip, but showing you, you know, how the smog is looking like so far in Manila. But, you know, I'm excited to be back here in my home and explore all over, keep making videos out here in this beautiful country. So that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.